There's an ongoing rift in Arizona's Republican Party after the defeat of President Trump in our state. ABC 15's Nicole Valdez is live tracking some new developments for us tonight. Nicole?
Steve, it's become a very public feud. Some of Arizona's Republican leaders throwing virtual punches at each other on social media. But today, it was actually a worry that it could become a real-life protest. We watched Maricopa County deputies circle the neighborhood of House Speaker Rusty Bowers tonight after some of President Trump's supporters threatened to show up at his door. The House Speaker defending Arizona's elections last week when he refused to consider calling a special session to overturn the state's results. That turned him into a target. Candidates for office sharing his cell phone number, others his home address, encouraging protests outside his home. So far, that hasn't happened, but one person tweeting the speaker is, quote, on notice, adding this isn't a game he wants to play. This after some worried tweets like this were condoning violence. Now adding fuel to the fire, Attorney General Mark Brnovich, who initially defended Arizona's elections, but now is throwing his support behind a lawsuit aiming to look into election concerns on a national scale, hoping to keep 4 other states from casting their electoral college votes as a result. Still, though, he says his office found no problems in Arizona, but it still sends a message. Secretary of State Katie Hobbs calling all of this disappointing. Tonight, after the last legal challenge standing fell through, dismissed by a federal court judge, she released this pointed statement ahead of Arizona's electoral vote, saying it's time for us to turn our attention to rebuilding faith in each other. Adding, quote, we are on the verge of conducting a ceremony that is part of the canon of U.S. history, having to worry about the safety of those who will be in attendance, which is wholly the fault of feckless leaders who are ginning up violence and rhetoric that is unbecoming of those in their positions. Leaders must step up and say this is unacceptable and un-American. Enough is enough. And as of tonight, we're less than 5 days away from that official and final vote for President-elect Joe Biden on behalf of Arizona voters, despite every attempt we've seen to try to keep that from happening. But clearly, still some concerns those veiled threats could continue through that all-important vote. Live tonight, Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.